Psychophonetics is the name that I gave to a process that evolved from theatre into personal development, and we had to give it a name. The process involved deeper sources of intelligence and communication than what people normally use. You see, we are born with all these senses for navigation in the outer world, to survive. But we don't have any senses for the inner world, for what we feel, for what we think, for what we desire, for our pains and joys and hurts and desires and frustrations and reactions and projections, and these are the things that control us. And if we don't see what controls us, we cannot change it. And so in theatre, in many years in experimental transformational theatre, we realize that if I want to be somebody else as an actor, I need to know myself so much better to be able to be somebody else. And the listener of any kind, all the way from motherhood and fatherhood to teacherhood, let alone counselor and coach, we need to do what actors do. We need to put ourselves in that position. We need to use our humanity as raw material for entering a person from inside. And for this to be possible, we need to see ourselves. I cannot see you from inside if I ignore myself. It's only through deeper observation of what happens in me I develop the eyes and the ears to see and to hear you. But we don't have a sense for it. We're not born with any sense for seeing ourselves, for seeing our experience, for seeing the soul. So, in theatre, we developed for many years the capacity to know ourselves so well you can become somewhere else. And so, everybody has potentially the capacity to see oneself. And to make it simple, I'd say, no, I cannot see my feeling of hurt, but I can sense it in my body. We found that we can find in the body sensation signals of inner experience, which if I enhance them, I can tap and access every experience I ever had. So, I have to sense myself. When I sense myself, say heartache, I can sense it, and then I can also express it with my hand. Or a reaction that I want to get rid of, I can sense a moment when I was reactive, and then I can gesture it. So this capacity of 5-10 fingers and the simple body everybody has to express what happens inside of us is very powerful. I take something from inside, I gesture it, and then I can see it. See what? I can imagine by short-term memory how my body was doing it. I can sense it, I can gesture it, and then I can imagine it. And then we can find various sounds of the human alphabet that do exactly the same gesture. For instance, if I want to enhance the feeling of openness, and this is my gesture for it, the sound ah goes along with that. If something gets stuck in me and I want to get rid of that stuckness, I can do it, and then I can do ga and release it. Because it turns out that human memory lives in our energy field, not in the brain. It lives in resonances that can be tapped by the basic sounds of human speech, which all babies around the world use the same way, like a universal language. So if you put together these 4 modes of communication, normal conversation, well, not normal, but empathic conversation plus sensing, and gesture and visualization and sounds. Everyone can access everything that lives in your soul, in your memory body, in your experience, and you can put it on screen and see it for yourself, like you look at me and I look at you. Nobody told people the body is so wise if you only bother to stop and talk to it. Nobody told most people that yes, there's emotional pain if you feel what you feel, but beyond that, there's also emotional richness and beauty and love. And so we help people to see that they are much greater than their self-image. If they can only liberate themselves from being stuck in an experience into expressing the experience and looking at it. So psychophonetics is a method that enables people to see themselves objectively. And even their judgment of themselves, they can see that too. Even the fear of themselves and the hate of themselves, they can see that too. And everything people can see. They're not identified with it. And that's the psychology of freedom. And then you can manage it better. Like anything else which is in front of you, you can manage it. You can manage it better, you can develop it. And then you start to see others from inside. And then the wisdom comes in. And people love to be understood. And then you can help them to see themselves. That's psychophonetics.